AITA for basically telling my in-laws this is my house, if you don't like my rules get out. First off, I don't think I was wrong, which has infuriated my girlfriend. I recently moved into my house. My girlfriend, 27, and I 25 had a little housewarming. Her family, my mother and a few of our friends. We were eating outdoors and the kids had their own table. My girlfriend's nephew, 8, knocked over a jug of dilute. I was at the table when it happened and it was clearly an accident. He was very polite and apologized. He was a little upset but I just laughed it off. His father came over and I was shocked at how much his father gave out to him. I told him it was only an accident etc. and he kept going. I felt really guilty for not stopping it. He ran over to the corner of the garden and started crying. His father went back to the table and he said what happened and his wife said he deserved that, he should stay there a long time or something along those lines. There was almost a snigger from some of her family. Anyway, I went over to the boy a couple of minutes later. I gave him a bar of chocolate. He was still crying. He said sorry again. I gave him a high five and taught him this high five I used to do as a kid. His mother came over and said, "Do you mind not talking to my son? He needs to think about what he did wrong and he needs to do that alone." I took her and her husband aside and said, "This is my house, if you want to upset your kid don't do it here. If you don't like it get out." I swear the reaction that followed was insane. They went back to the table saying it. My mom said, never holding back, "Didn't I raise a great son? He's spot on not to let bullies in his house." Which erupted it even more. My girlfriend spoke to me in private and asked me to apologize to them. I said no. I stand by what I said and, this part 1 regret a bit, I told her I think less of her for even asking me to apologize. A mate of mine and his son kicked ball with the boy and I. He actually gave me a hug, I don't do hugs, at the end of the party and said sorry again. He hugged so tightly for a couple of seconds. I really could go on about the drama but in short her family thought I was wrong. I was getting little digs etc. My girlfriend's friend came up privately and said I was right to step in. My girlfriend is still pushing for me to apologize. I still don't think I did anything wrong. I didn't tell them how to parent but told them to leave if that's how they want to parent. If I'm being completely honest, I didn't say this, I'm not sure I'd want a kid with a family like that. Aggro over spilled FING flavored water. Wow, there's so many messages. Apologies but I can't respond to all. Some of the common answers to responses. Agreed, what must they be like in private? Snigger is a word, at least in the UK. My mother is the best mother any kid could have had. Yeah, it puts a big hole in my future with my GF.
Relevant comments. Mary Widow 14. You sound like a very reasonable person, so I will say, never lower the bar on your expectations. It will only lead to the only expectations being negative ones.
Update. This isn't AITA but a bit of a rant. Not sure if many remember. My girlfriend's nephew spilled flavored water at my housewarming and shit hit the fan. That happened about 2 months ago. So not long after I made the post my GF and I broke up. Honestly, the more I thought about the situation, the more annoyed I became by it. Wednesday evening, my ex-GF called me and asked me to come over. I went over. I thought she might want to try to get back together but that wasn't it. She was minding her nephew for a few nights. She said there was a mark on his arm but he said he wouldn't tell her. She said she didn't know who else to call. I played a bit of football with him. And after a bit I asked him what happened his arm. He said he didn't know. I asked him a few more questions and he got really upset. I gave him a hug, probably shouldn't have, and said you're not in trouble etc. It went on a bit and eventually he said his dad did it. I asked does he do it often to him. He said it was just the once because he was really angry. I believe it was the once. He did admit his parents do other stuff that I would consider abusive. I told my ex-GF. She said she's shocked, I don't think it was shocking. She said she can't ring social services and asked if I would. So I rang them. They will take it seriously once his parents are home from their holiday, apparently. The poor little lad.
Relevant comment. Me folly. If you are able to, give that kid your number. Tell him to write it in his shoe or something so that he has it with him. Tell him he can call you anytime he feels unsafe. Be sure he knows that all you may be able to do is talk with him, but you won't yell at him, and you will listen. If you can do that, if you are emotionally able to make that offer, you will have changed that kid's life. He may never call. He may call just to check that you will answer. But he will always know that there was someone who thought he did not deserve to be left all alone.
OP. True, but he doesn't have a phone or anything. I told him I probably won't see him that often but next time they do or say something, tell your aunt or a teacher. They will help you. If you ever do see me, tell me. That kind of thing.